new season of Caterham Racing starts right here. We're at Snetterton and it's the second round of the Avon Tyres Caterham Roadsport Championship. Yesterday's race won by Henry Heaton and he lines up on pole position with William Smith. With him at the front of the grid, Tim Dickens and Dan Gore share the second row, and it's another huge field of cars. Caterham Racing always lends itself to great racing. There's plenty of overtaking in prospect, even on a wet and slippery circuit like this. The 5-second board is displayed. Drivers now look towards the lights which glow red, engine notes rise. And the race gets underway now. Good start made there by Max McDonough from the third row of the grid as the cars sprint up towards Riches for the first time. On board with Chris Hutchinson as the cars accelerate down the pit straight. And then 4 wide almost ahead of him, dive into the first right-hander. Good start by William Smith around the outside, trying to bag the race lead, and you can see just how popular the Roadsport class is yet again, because this monster field is still turning its way through turn 1. Looking back from Lee Bristow's car as the leaders now work their way round the Montreal hairpin for the first time. Great part of the circuit to do some overtaking, except if you get it wrong you can be in trouble, and a big slide from David Yates, number 15, as the cars work their way through turn 3 for the first time. And then down towards Agostini. There was a yellow flag waving in the background, suggesting something had happened up at the hairpin. And indeed, look, there's one straggler as the cars work their way through for the first time. Christian Seymour in 87 goes a little bit wide, one of a small number of novices in the race. Novice Cross on the back of the car. And with the headlights glowing in the gloom, they work their way now through Agostini for the first time. The twisty infield section at the Snetterton 300 circuit, so-called, the longest at just under 3 miles. And looking back once again from Lee Bristow's car. Now, he started on row 17, the penultimate row of the grid, and he's absolutely flying. He's picking them off left, right and centre. He's got cars queued up behind him. 21, Christina Maple, the Mancunian, comes next as we have a change for the lead. Henry Heaton goes ahead as they work their way onto Bentley Straight. This is Chris Hutchinson's view, powering his way now down towards the Senna Brundle S's. And in so doing, gets himself up alongside Max McDonough, the man from Brighton, slips back a place. Chris Hutchinson here going great guns as they head down towards the S's. The man from Pulborough has gained 1 spot, but up front, Henry Heaton leading the way. What he can't do is shake off the opposition. It's far from easy to do that in Caterham Racing. Cars turn their way then for the first time towards Bombhole, and then on towards Coram Curve. Snetterton 300 circuit with all of those corners in the infield does have the effect of breaking up the pack just a little. Justin Armstrong turns his way through, number 46, then as the leaders come out of Coram, down they come towards the end of the lap for the first time. And the race leader, Henry Heaton, is doing his best to break clear of the opposition, but he can't really succeed in so doing, as there's a change for third, as diving up on the inside goes Jack Sales in 35, but then he runs out wide. 1 up and 1 down for him. Sales was third, he's now 4th as they work their way across the timing line. This, a replay of Lee Bristow's start. Fraser Gray behind him. Pete Masterfield in the green car, but then there are 1 or 2 that are a bit slow away, so Bristow just weaves his way through. Down towards Riches then, the next one to get past Aaron Hall, number 13, in the Stars and Stripes liveried car. Another place picked off by Bristow, and another squeezes his way past Nick Stevens on the inside. The next casualty, Martin Pratt. Lee Bristow absolutely carving his way through the field. This is Matt Sales back up on the inside for third place. Is he going to be able to hang on to it this time? No, again he drifts out wide. Dan Gore comes up past him, so Gore goes third. In 4th place, heading over the timing line now is Jack Sales, but it could be 5th. Chris Hutchinson from the 4th row is right with him. He's got past 1, he's got past 2, and the leaders look a side by side further up the road. Back through on the inside goes William Smith, and round the outside for third. Really brave stuff. This in the wet, remember, by Chris Hutchinson. These cars are lively at the best of times, never mind on a wet road. Up front in the meantime, William Smith leads the way. Everybody scrambling their way out on the Montreal hairpin. Aboard number 14 there is Richard Osgoby, man from Wolverhampton, looking to try to gain a place if he can. Back on board with Hutchinson. He's now becoming a threat for the lead battle. Henry Heaton's car wagging its way out of turn 3, down now towards Agostini. Inching up onto the back of him is Chris Hutchinson, who lines up to have a go Can't do it, thought about it, then thinks better of it. Heaton defends, but if he's now going to defend second place, he's going to delay him and enable the leader to break further and further away. This is really playing into the hands now of William Smith. They're on board with Chris Hutchinson. He did the fastest lap in yesterday's race, so he's certainly proved he's got the speed around here. Heading up towards Oggies now. This is the apex, drifts out wide. Ahead of him, Henry Heaton has a real old slide, and actually Hutchinson comes out even closer to him. Both drivers making a mistake, but Hutchinson benefits ever so slightly. Coming onto Bentley Straight once again as lower down the order, Max McDonough presses on. He was 6th in yesterday's race, and he's trying to improve upon that today, but it's not easy. The drivers work their way down towards the S's once again. 47 it is who leads the way, William Smith. But Henry Heaton in number 10, yesterday's winner on the inside, is trying to defend second from Chris Hutchinson. Hutchinson tries to come round the outside in the first element, and he has done so. And he gets the place into the second part of the S's, and then runs wide, and Heaton tries to get up the inside. Hutchinson darts across, defends second place, and somebody there, I'm afraid, in trouble with damage and looking as though retirement beckons. That is Spencer Fortag by the look of it. It is. Let's try and work out who did what to which and to whom. You're looking back from Lee Bristow's car. There is Fortag. Bang! Oh, and he's done the radiator. You can see all the liquid pouring out. The reason that Bristow slowed was because there was a car spinning ahead of him. You just saw that on the inside of the Montreal hairpin. But Spencer Fortag has done the radiator when he went bang right into the back of the car ahead of him. Race leaders still hunting for traction, and we've had a real shuffle while we've been watching the replays. Henry Heaton is now leading from Chris Hutchinson. The man that's dropped out of that leading group is William Smith, who was leading when we last looked. He's fallen quite a long way back in the pack now. Up towards Oggies. Heaton is trying to pull away. Meantime, Hutchinson in turn is coming under more and more pressure, because now, right on the back of him, as they work their way again onto Bentley Straight, is Cedric Block. The leaders are heading down towards Sanner and Brundle once again. Henry Heaton has got them all stacked up behind him. He cannot shake them off. It's great racing to watch. It's frustrating racing for the leader because he just can't get away. Chris Hutchinson is right there on his tail in second spot, but now becoming ever more of a factor here is Cedric Block, who yesterday worked his way up the pecking order only as far as 18th. Today he's absolutely charging. Heading into a rather gloomy Caterham, the long, fast right-hander. Heaton is the leader, and this man is hunting him down. Chris Hutchinson might be in with a chance of a victory. His Block runs really wide, hangs onto the back of the car, tries to step out of line, and as they break for the end of the lap and power up towards the line, another one running wide over the curve is the hard-charging Richard Oscarby. Leaders go past the pits. Now, how many more laps can they squeeze out of 20 minutes of racing? I reckon this is going to be the last one. Henry Heaton leads the way into Richards. Right up behind him is Chris Hutchinson. They turn for the right-hander now. The Montreal hairpin beckons as the gap is coming down and down and down. Is Hutchinson going to make a move up the inside? Not really, but Heaton gets all sideways. That will delay his exit speed, and Hutchinson gets that little bit nearer to him now. They head off towards Agostini, the leading duo, breaking clear of the opposition. William Smith running fourth, very busy defending. Now, this is Hutchinson's view. He missed the apex a little bit, turned the car in, maybe a tad too sharp. Round came the back, but he corrected it. Powers out on the corner, but he has still got Hutchinson right up there with him. Cedric Block's blue car running third. Down they come through the Nelson Brundle S's, and now towards Bob Hole as Hutchinson again tries to find a way up on the outside. Everywhere he wants to be, Henry Heaton has already positioned the car, and now there's only Caterham and then the run to the end of the lap to go, so he's running out of options as they work their way through Caterham now. Tyres squealing even on the wet road in protest. One more corner to go. Down to the end of the lap comes Henry Heaton. He sets the car up, he understeers just a little, but he's okay. Doesn't run that wide, actually. And on the sprint to the flag, he's gained another length over Chris Hutchinson, who is trying to get into the tow. Here they come. Checkered flag at the ready, and Henry Heaton makes it 2 out of 2 at Snetterton. Chris Hutchinson comes through right on his tail. And for third, it is going to be Cedric Block as the battles continue right the way to the checkered flag. Looking back from Lee Bristow's car, he is going to be 11th as he comes over the line. And That, remember, from the very back of the grid is a mighty fine achievement. Confirmation of the way they crossed the line. A win for Henry Heaton ahead of Chris Hutchinson and Cedric Block. Jack Brown comes home fourth ahead of Dan Gore and Rob Clay.
Like a cat on hot bricks. I was pretty nervous going into that race, but I just wanted to keep it tidy, keep it within the track limits, and ultimately it paid off. You know, at one point I was down to third, but just didn't want to panic. Just get my head down, concentrate on getting some good laps, and ultimately it paid off. So pretty happy with that. 2 races, 2 wins. Can't beat it.
It was changeable. Every single lap was completely different. The guys out there, they're rocket ship fast, and it's only our second season. But I think we put on a good show for everyone who turned up, and we hope you enjoyed it. The family loved it. So great race. Well done to Henry. He's fast. And I got the fastest lap, so I'm faster. Next time out, I'll get him.
It was good starting 18th.
Dry, wet,
Bit nice and wet. You know, I saw they were fighting it out, so I just took my chances. And then I let them fight, got some spaces. Good race.
Post-race, Henry Heaton excluded from race 2 for a technical infringement, and that means in the championship that it's all about Chris Hutchinson now. He's 3 points ahead of Dan Gore with Tim Dickens third. Then it's Will Smith ahead of Jack Brown, and Max McDonough rounds out the top 6 after a rather damp Snetterton.